A new twist in some of these numbers, even right out the gate from the top article today. You have from Realtor.com, brace yourselves, the price per square foot on average, U.S. home has jumped more than 50% since 2019. Jeez. This is a startling number. Now, this kind of correlates to a lot of other things that have been happening with interest rates being in the absolute lowest of the lows ever during 2020 and 21 and kind of a little bit in 22. Last week we talked about the generational mortgage rates and who has the lowest mortgage rates, and that was our millennials and our Gen Zers. So that was interesting. And now here we are with price per square foot jumping more than 50% in the last 4.5 years. This is bad news. So what do you want to talk about first when it comes to this?
So, I mean, just right off the bat, I mean, you see San Diego, although it's, not the highest percentage in growth for median list price growth for the square foot, but the median house is over $1 million.
It was number 5.
It was number 5. But
on this list, San Diego's number 5. In the entire country, okay? This is everywhere. Every single city. It's number 5. Number 5.
I just, I remember when, years back, you look at, $1 million homes and you're like, oh, wow, that's a $1 million house. And then now you look at $1 million homes and you're like, that's $1 million.
That's a $500,000 home. Oh.
No, it is. And a lot of the houses aren't like, you're not getting a huge house. You're not getting this piece of land, new upgrades. It's a home.
$1 million house used to be like the roundabout drive with like a fountain in the front and a gate.
That's what you would expect, right?
Shrubs and bushes.
Not anymore.
It's what am I saying? In encapsulating the entire property.
Nope. Now you get just a regular 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot.
No, come on, be
I
real.
promise. I can find those in San Diego.
I know you can't in San Diego. I know. Around where we're at, like Rolling Hills has some 4-bedroom places. Okay, not 2-bedroom loft condos downtown deal. I understand what you're getting at, but the point is, in general, it's San Diego as a city. Like the city of San Diego is number 5 on this list with a 65.7% growth in price per square foot in the last 5 years. That is astronomical. And every list or every one of the cities on the top 10, look at the lowest number, Brian. It's 57.7.
It's still
growth, which was Phoenix, and shared by Hartford, Connecticut at 57.7. Everything is above 57.7. So this whole average of more than 50% is absolutely ludicrous.
No, it's ridiculous. And you just start to think in those last couple, since 2019, has the increase of your wage gone, along with this type of increases, because you also see it in other places like rent, you see it everywhere else, and those that your income doesn't. It's gone up, but it hasn't gone up to the point where it's like, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. We could take on this new levels of square footage or just pricing and anything.
It's the spillover, right? So whether you own the house or you're renting the house or you own the condo, townhome, or you're the renter there, it's spillover. So this price per square foot going up so astronomically so quickly is obviously a contributing factor to the housing affordability problem we've been talking about for a long time. One of the pieces that I wanted to make sure I kind of make a pit stop at for this article specifically is that over the same period of time, in contrast, the typical listed home price increased by 37. I almost said only 37.5. It increased by 37.5 over the same period of time. So that has now brought our nationwide median home price to $442,500, and it was definitely not that high 5 years ago.
It's like 200.
So yes, you see that the average square foot is outpacing the home price growth rate at the same time. There is a caveat to this, and this was pointed out by one of the people surveyed, or one of the people who was talking about this was that sometimes smaller square foot homes can have a higher price per square foot compared to a larger home. It can kind of skew the numbers. It would also, in order for that to be true, kind of across the board, you would see a much. It would statistically have a much different outcome than this 50%. It would look a lot different. That would be like you also see a ton of those types of homes hitting the market and a lot less of the standard, let's say, middle America type home. Like a regular single family residence that's got a couple bedrooms and a couple bathrooms and a front yard, backyard, garage. It's broadly that people were buying over the last 5 years as well. So I understand the variable that's being asked to be considered. The same person was also saying that, you have to look at the comps as far as like the condition of the home, upgrades, the lot size, its location. So it's not just that the house itself. Like I was looking at a house with a friend the other day. It's like 76 acres in Texas.
My God.
And the house is 1,150,000, I think. So 1.1. And the house is like 3,700 square feet. Now that price per square foot is going to be really high, but it's also a 70-acre lot
Property, yeah.
that comes with it, and it has a barn, and it has all this other stuff that gets mixed in with the evaluation of the property
It's
too.
actually a really good price.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's the address of that house?
Yeah, I'm like 1.176 acres, 37 square foot home.
37 square foot home. Yeah,
That-
it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful place.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, but even then, like okay, fine. That place was, let's say, if you were to use the average, 37% cheaper 5 years ago, as well.
I mean, even a better deal.
or half the price per square foot just 5
Jesus.
years ago. So the point about this being so astronomically like quickening is that all of these cities have like runaway growth of price per square foot that leaves a lot of people chasing it from behind and also losing ground.
Yeah.
So I would like to really quickly just list the top 10. We have in number one place, New York at 84.7%, Boston, Massachusetts, 72.9%, Nashville, Tennessee, 68.6%, Tampa, Florida, 68%.
San Diego, 65.7%.
65.7%, Austin, Texas, 64.7%, Memphis, Tennessee, 64.2%, Riverside, so another California on the list, at 62.7%, Hartford, Connecticut, 57.7%, and Phoenix, Arizona, 57.7%. Quick note about Riverside. Riverside is one of those areas where if you can't afford in the neighboring county, you can look in Riverside. And that's one of those places that it is a little bit more affordable. Even when you look at this chart, San Diego, which is a relatively good distance from Riverside, there's a huge disparity between the median list price. San Diego's is $1,072,000, Riverside $620,000. So it's not exactly half, but it's kind of close to that.
Pretty close.
It's pretty darn close to that.
Yeah.
So all top 10 are 57.7% or higher in median list price growth per square foot. I understand that it could be deceiving. You have areas that are extremely astronomically high, but final thought on this for me is that the markets that they cited that had the lowest return on price per square foot were still all above 20% growth rate speed, right? Or not growth rate. So you had Detroit at 23.2, Baltimore 24.8, and San Jose 26.3.
Like they need to grow
more. So if you're saying that the markets that saw the lowest return on price per square foot were still 23, 24, and 26, then it's no big surprise that the average is 50%.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't that nuts? And this is from what? Realtor.com. So, cite your sources, double check it if you want, but again, we rely on sources like CoreLogic and Altus Research and all that. So they're pulling from listing data, closing data, price per square foot that is listed on MLSs, and this is obviously something that's probably going to maintain its course. I don't think this same rate will proceed in perpetuity. I think it will have to have a cooling off and a leveling off, but I don't think the time frame is known because there's too many unknown variables.
External factors, yeah.